to another session of Girl and Mom Talks. So last week we were talking about boyfriends getting into the relationships and stuff. But today we're going to get in abusive relationships. Once in the relationships, now the negative, what we call red flags. That's usually what's popular nowadays, red flags. So I was seeing this video online of a woman whose nude video, I think it was taken by the boyfriend, and then it was posted online and everyone was seeing this. Now, from our point of view, we might see it and we might be like, why is she even naked in the first place? Why is she allowing him to do that? So we're going to get it from the point of view of my mom, since she's a psychologist, and we're just going to look at it in the psychological point of view. Yeah. So mom, what did you think about it?
That was very abusive. It is so wrong for somebody to post your nudes online. People who do that, they usually have a very dark personality. And majority of them are narcissists. Some of them are sadists.
Can you explain to us that?
I will. Some of them are psychopath. Some of them are also sociopath. I'm going to give a little bit of sorry about our dog. I'm going to give you a little bit of the difference of both, right?
Yeah.
So a narcissist is this type of a person who like dominating. When you date them, they want to always be the boss. They always want to be the only people who have you. Yeah, they will take you away from your family members, from your friends, from your workplace. They don't want anybody around you, so that they can be able to gain power over you, so that they can control you. And the narcissists are very nice, very charming, very lovable, and you always want to be with them. You'd be like, this is the kind of a person that that I want in my life. And so when they are dating you, the way they usually take you away from everybody else, they come up with an excuse or a reason that, I love you so much, and I think your friends are not good friends. They might even bring in a lie about your friends, so that you can see your friends as very bad people. They can even take you away from your parents. So like, see the way your parents are treating you. You are now a big girl. You should be making decisions on your own. And actually, you'll be sitting on like, by the way, I should be making decisions on my own. Why are my parents even getting involved? So you start putting blocks over your parents, and you start kicking them out. If you have friends probably who are not in the same status as you, probably they are lower than you or they are higher than you, he'll be like, see those friends, the status is very high, you cannot reach them. No, if they're high, he'll be like, your friends' status are very high, and so they're making you compete so much and they're stressing you. You don't need to be with friends like those. So you'll be like, by the way, they're stressing me. Why am I even trying to be where they are and I cannot? And if you have friends who are lower than you, they're like, why are you even walking around with friends like those? They're so low. And you'll be like, that's true. Why am I even spending time with them? So before you know it, you've kicked everybody and everyone around you away. So then they start bringing out their claws and they start abusing you financially, emotionally, physically.
Really?
Yeah, they beat you up. And because they know that you cannot go anywhere, because now you don't have anybody, you only have them, you become so independent to them, and you see them like the only people who understand you. You see? So when you go to your friends or your family members whom you had pushed out, they'll be like, but you're the one who pushed us away. Or they might tell you, we just don't want your issues, just deal with them. So start seeing your friends as the enemy, and the only person who's available for you is your boyfriend or your husband. Yeah, so you become a slave to this person, so you will not leave. Now, a sadist on the hand, then they don't care about dominance, they don't care about those kind of stuff. For them, they hurt you because they like it. They usually like seeing you hurt, and they will show you that they are hurting you. You see? So them they are better than narcissists, because then you would avoid them.
They're not two-faced.
Yeah, they're not two-faced. That's the thing. Yeah, actually, that's the word. They're not two-faced. They show you, and so when you know this is a sadist, you'll obviously avoid them.
Yeah.
But for a narcissist, they're two-faced. You wouldn't know, so you always want to spend time with them. You see, and you continue being deep down with them.
Okay, so can you compare someone who's narcissist with like being overprotective?
They are usually it's not this not overprotective per se, but I would say that they are what do you call it? I forget this word. They're not overprotective, but they have a lot of insecurity.
Oh.
Yeah, they have a lot of insecurity, and so they feel like as if if you date a guy whom you have overpowered him with education or with wealth, probably you come from a very rich family, and they feel like, oh, this one wants to show me that they're the best, so they want to make you feel you're not. So they bring you down to make them feel like you cannot be the best better than them. So they have a lot of insecurities, and they can be very toxic, this kind of people. Yeah, and majority of them, it comes out actually from childhood. They don't know how to take rejection lightly.
So I've seen a lot of like videos of the ones we've been seeing online for abusive relationships. I remember one time I was so focused on this couple online. They were just nice. And then this girl left the relationship in a very light note, it was just nice. So later on, this guy actually hired people to come and rape this couple, and they recorded it. So the video was posted online by this guy's girlfriend, the new girlfriend. It's posted online by the new girlfriend, and the guy came out online actually on a live video, and he said, "Now you see, this one is how she cheated on me, how she was sleeping around with different men and all that." But this girl, I think a day later or a week later, she came out online and she cried. I think
the one who victimized?
Yeah, she cried for 3 good hours on a live video. And people were like, what's wrong? But later when we come and get this whole thing, and the guy had been cheating on her, and she just left out. So what in such a situation, what is this guy you said there's a narcissist? Yeah, or a sociopath and psychopath?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, this kind of a person might actually be a sociopath. But the difference between us, let me just explain a little bit of this. As a psychopath are again almost like narcissists. They're usually very smart and very charming. They're very intelligent, and they know how to carry out their abuses really nice and clean. They don't leave even when if you've had these serial killers. Yeah. How do they become serial killers and they're not found? Yeah. Because they leave no trace behind. They do a very clean job. You let know that they're the ones who have been doing this. So even if you are a neighbor to this kind of people, and the police come and ask you about them, you're like, no, he's a nice neighbor. He actually helps us around. He does so and so. He loves my children so much. My children have been going to his house. Yet this person is either a serial killer or a serial rapist or a serial pedophile. They're smart. Before they are identified, they have really caused a lot of damage. A lot of them wouldn't even believe it.
Can they be geniuses?
They are very genius, by the way. Yeah, most of them are very genius. And they know people of high places, so it's not easy for you to identify. And most of psychopaths, they wear suits. They sit on very high table. Yeah, they are intelligent women walking around, and they're so smart, and people love them, and people adore them. You wouldn't know their backside, the way it's so horrible. For that guy, your friend you just talked about, could be a sociopath. Super very stupid. When they do something, they make sure that everybody knows about it. They actually brag about it. You see, when you leave them, they'll be like, "You'll see what I'm going to do to you." Of course, they'll give you a red line. So if you do not take that seriously, they will come and hurt you, and then that's when you trace back and say, actually he told me. But you see, a sociopath will not even tell you. They'll be like, okay, fine, it's okay. I know people do not work, but if you feel that I'm not the one, then it's okay. Then they walk away and they feel they are safe. Yet they come back and do what? Yes, and hurt you. But sociopaths, they don't. They show that they're going to do something bad to you, and they leave traces everywhere. You see? And people like these are people who have these kind of personalities. They probably might have been abused.
Can they have problems with rejection?
They have problems with rejection, and especially from childhood. These are the kind of people who probably, when the parents separated or they grew up without one parent, they grew up believing that the absent parent is a very bad person. It could be true. Maybe the absent parent just left them, decided to go and left them. But there's some have other cases whereby probably I'm the one who gave birth, and because I don't like your dad so much, I said I'm not going to tell your dad where you are, so I keep you away from your dad. So you growing up knowing that your dad is really a bad person, yet he is not. So you grow up hating him because your dad left you, and so this guy comes to your life. You start loving this guy, and then this guy leaves you, and they are like, why is everybody rejecting me? You know. And the same thing you see for guys. Unfortunately, sometimes it happens a lot in guys because guys have power. They usually have more power over women. That's why they usually tend to have this kind of characteristics. They might have grown without mother figure, and so when they grow without a mother, they when they date a woman, they want this woman to fill in the gap that the mother left. So they want you to treat them the way their mother would have treated them. And you're just a girlfriend. I mean, you're not their mother. You cannot be their mother. You see? So when this happens and they get you and you want to leave, maybe probably you found something or somebody else, or you don't just feel like being in that relationship, they feel really bad. And they bring in their mother. Like my mom left me. This woman also leaves me. She's not going anywhere. At that moment when they want you to stick to them, they spend so much time with you. They spend money on you. They invest in you. They can pay your fees. They can give you money, whatever, anything you want, they will give you to keep you. At that moment, you think it was love, yet him is just insecure that he's trying to fill in the gap that the mother left. Yeah. And so when you leave, they start bringing in, I spent so much money on this woman, I spent my time on this woman, I invested my love on this woman, why is she leaving me? So if it's not her, if it's not her, nobody else will get her. So either they come and they stalk you, they kill you, then they kill themselves, or they just decide to die by suicide, they kill themselves. Yeah, because they feel probably they can't hurt you. So there's a lot of rejection, especially from the parents. Not all, but majority of them, if you trace them back, you find that there's one parent who was missing in their lives.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a question. Can spoiled kids, those ones who've been like spoiled, mama, baba, and they've never handled rejection, can they be part of this?
Yes, they can also have this kind of personalities because, I mean, you grew up without rejection. So how will you live in this world? You see, when you are young, like right now, you and Abby, we can protect you. Yeah, we protect you to our circle the way we want you to grow. But hey, you're going to grow out of our circle. You're going to go outside there and meet other people who do not care where you came from. They don't care whether your parents protected you or whether their parents gave you everything or their parents loved you so much. People don't care outside here. So when you go outside this world and you're alone and you're not there, you're like, whoa, what the hell is this? And you can't take it. So a lot of children also who are not taught how to deal with the rejection will end up having those kind of traits. You see, this is why schools usually have sports. Yeah, because sports teaches children how to accept defeat. You run, you win, you lose, this kind of thing. Then you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to raise up and fight another day. So it teaches you to just let it go and wait for another day and fight again. And so some of the children also, I remember some of the children in our class, they were always number one. I know even maybe you might have them or you might have experienced it. They're always number one, and when they become number two, they become very furious and they hate the person who overrode them. Yeah, it's either because they always win and nobody has ever defeated them, or probably the parents were very harsh and very overprotective that they cannot accept anything apart from number two. So they always want to fight for number two. For number one, I'm sorry. So when they come out of the world, they always know that this world is all about being on top, being the winner. So they won't take anything less than that.
But that makes me scared of relationships.
No, you shouldn't be scared. It's not about you just finding out. Actually, the relationship it's about reading the right signs. People pick the red flags, you called it. People usually ignore these red flags. They're usually there. But people say that you cannot know somebody's behavior. They can hide their behaviors. No, they can try to hide, but you will know. Something will always come out and you will see this is not a good thing. But because we're so much in love, we tend to cover our eyes to see those things and bring them on the table and analyze them. You understand? So we bring in love, and so love conquers all and all that. Yet this person is a really person who has a lot of personal issues that they need to deal with. It could be a mommy issue or a daddy issue that's really disturbing them, and so they come to you and they expect you to fill the gap, which you cannot.
Yeah. Somehow, I think life always brings for you things that you have been looking forward to. I believe a lot in manifestations nowadays. So I have been seeing this video online of I was with the CS, and then I saw this girl. And recently, I just finished a book also, and it was about an abusive marriage. This girl, I don't know, it's like a chain, what that usually calls it, like a chain family, like spiritual, So this girl, the father was very abusive to the mother, and the mother didn't know how to get out of the relationship. So this father always treated the mother badly, and the girl was like, my dad is this type of a person, and my mom doesn't know how to get out. So what can you say about that type of a woman who can't get out? Because in a point of view of someone who doesn't understand it, they'll be like, this woman is weak.
Yeah.
What would you say about this type of women who keep going back to abusive marriage?
It could actually mean two things. It could mean that probably their husband is a narcissist and close eyes, he doesn't have anybody or anywhere else to go. Or it could also mean that this woman grew up in the same environment. So she grew up knowing that this is the way it's supposed to be. And when they are there, they were young, they saw their parents being fighting or their mother being abused and survived, and now they are also women, they are now mothers. They're like, I survived it, I didn't die, so even my children will survive it. And so the children also get somebody. Funny enough, when you grow up in an abusive relationship, you attract the same kind of people. You attract people who are again abusive. So you stay on believing that if your mom survived it, so even you can survive it. However, there are some who are disgusted by how their mothers handle the situation. Yeah. So when they get in a relationship, they're like, I'm not going to be like my mom. So anytime a guy does something to them, they come out aggressively. They're like, you are not going to treat me the way my dad treated my mom. So they end up becoming even violent, unnecessarily. They become protective from themselves. They can have anxiety disorders.
I think this girl in her relationship shows more. From the first time she was beaten by the husband, she was more protective. She was like, you hit me, and she had a lot of anger issues. So
that are not dealt with.
So me related it, and I've never experienced something that has anger in it.
That's the way it manifests.
So what will be a closing remark for this type of things? What will you want to say for this kind of thing?
So I look at the camera now?
Yeah, look at the camera.
So what I want to say to people is that anybody who asks you to send them nudes or videos of you naked or taking videos of you when you are making out is not a good person. Just don't accept. Don't ever accept, because you don't know what they're going to do with those videos. I mean, why would even if somebody wants to take your videos when you are intimately involved? It doesn't make sense. So don't just allow them. People are crazy and people do not care. Apart from that, if you're dating somebody, try to find out their background. Try to find out whether their mother was there or their father was there, and how are they dealing with this situation. Because there's some people who grew up without their mothers or their fathers, but they handled it well. They learned how to handle it well. They went to therapy, or they got somebody who loved them. And by the way, if your parent was not there and there's somebody else who loves you more than what your biological parent gave you, just accept it. Just allow yourself to be loved. I mean, there's nowhere that you have to be loved by your biological mother or your father or a sibling. Anybody else can love you. That's why God said that love your neighbor the way you love yourself. So that love comes from anybody else. So if you have somebody else who loves you, accept the love. Don't hold grudges on that person who was never there for you. All right?
Yeah.
And pay attention to the red flags.
Yeah, pay attention to the red flags. Okay, lovelies, that was all for today. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you're or if you're part of our subscribers and you've always been joining us, just give us, make sure to also like, and you can also just tell your friends to come and watch it, and just also give us in the comments, you can say something about what should we talk about next. Yeah,